Hello, welcome to PC Jack. Today I'm going to show you how to install the Be Quiet Shadow Rock LP CPU cooler. The Be Quiet Shadow Rock LP is one of my favourite CPU coolers and is perfect for systems with limited CPU cooler clearance. Please note, for this tutorial we will be installing on an AM4 socket, but if you're installing this on an Intel LGA socket, it's pretty similar with the exception of having to use the backplate that Be Quiet provides, rather than the included AM4 backplate that already comes with the motherboard. Also, you'll need to be aware that this cooler can overhang your memory slightly depending on which orientation you are using. So, make sure you're using low profile memory modules like the Corsair Vengeance LPX memory, which as you can see fits perfectly with the Shadow Rock LP. Additionally, you'll notice that I already have my 24-pin plugged in before installing the cooler. Depending on what motherboard you have, plugging in your 24-pin cable can be quite difficult once the cooler is installed. So, if possible, I'd recommend plugging this in first as well as other cables like your USB 3 depending on where it's located on your motherboard. So, with all out of the way, let's get started. Firstly, you'll need to grab these bits from the box. You'll need 4 of these long screws, these 2 brackets, this mounting bridge, these 2 shorter screws, and these 4 spacers. To begin, remove the mounting brackets that come pre-installed with your motherboard, but as I mentioned previously, make sure to keep the AM4 backplate. Place the 4 spacers over each of the protruding threads from the backplate and then place these 4 screws into the AM4 slots on the mounting brackets. Place these screws through the spacers into the backplate and screw into place. With the mounting bracket in place, we're now ready to install the heatsink. You'll also notice that the Shadow Rock LP has pre-applied thermal paste, so it's not necessary to apply your own for the first installation. Place the mounting bridge underneath the heatsink until it's slots into place. Now, the tricky part can be getting these little screws into place, but all you need to do is place them in the mounting bridge before dropping the cooler down onto your CPU IHS. Next, lower the heatsink down onto your CPU and ensure the mounting bridge lines up with the mounting brackets that you installed previously. Now, screw the heatsink down a couple of turns at a time on each side to ensure even pressure across the CPU IHS. Don't over tighten these, but once the screws bottom out, you're good to go. Finally, using the included fan brackets, place these on the included 120mm fan and lower this down onto the heatsink and slot the fan brackets into place on the heatsink fins. Finally, locate your CPU fan header and plug in your 120mm fan. And that's it, you've now installed the Shadow Rock LP. So, that's it for today's video. If you found this video useful, then please feel free to like and subscribe for more videos on the way soon. Thank you, see you next time.